Ever get a little too ambitious at the grocery store and by the end of the week you realize you have a drawer full of veggies that are about to go bad? I used to do this all the time, and I finally figured out a way to quickly whip them together before those veggies start to rot, and I want to show you that today. But first, a quick story. So when I graduated college, I went to Italy with my boyfriend, now husband, to visit his family in Naples, and one day we went to the beach with his cousins, and they brought a picnic basket with them, and I was really excited because I really wanted to see what Italians bring to the beach, and they did not disappoint. At snack time, they kept hinting at this special pasta that we were going to have. So that special pasta actually turned out to be all these strands of pasta that were baked into egg, almost like a pasta pie with pasta and sausage and veggies, and it was delicious. I later learned out that that special pasta was actually what's called a frittata. A frittata is kind of like a quiche without the crust or an Italian omelet, and it's like a kitchen sink dish. You can literally throw anything in it but the kitchen sink. Leftover pasta, leftover veggies, grains, beans, meat, cheese, literally anything. And I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. So you can use any old vegetables that you want, but today I'm using one of my pantry staples, shallots, which is kind of like a small red onion that I always have lying around. And because I love sneaking greens into everything, we're gonna use some baby spinach. So you can really use anything here. In the summertime, sometimes I like to use zucchini or summer squash with my greens, and in the winter, I'll use heartier greens like collard greens, kale, and even some sliced potato or chicken sausage. So the first step is to preheat your broiler. And if that makes you nervous, it's really not a big deal. So broiling is actually the same as grilling. It's the same type of heat, you just don't get the fancy grill marks. And all you do to preheat your broiler is literally press the broil function on your oven and then, wait for it, press start. That's all you do. Now we're gonna cut up our shallots. These shallots are very strong. So I usually use 2 shallots in this. I'm gonna swipe them into this bowl right here. I usually use 2 shallots, but the shallots at the store were huge today, so I only used 1. But if they're a little bit smaller, you can grab 2. Okay, next step for a little bit more prep is we are going to crack 6 eggs into a bowl. All right, last egg. Break the yolks with a fork and whisk them up. Okay, now that I've done my prep, we're gonna bring it on over to the stove. All you're going to need is a 6 or 8 inch skillet, but this is really important. You have to make sure that it has an oven-proof handle, so no rubber or plastic, because if you do, it will melt in the hot oven. All right, let's bring it on over to the stove. All right, you're gonna heat the pan up over medium heat and add about a tablespoon of olive oil or just 1 glug of the bottle. Then you're gonna add your sliced shallots and saute them until they soften. It usually takes about 2 or 3 minutes. They're really small, so they cook fast. After the shallots have cooked down, you can add your veggies here. So we're gonna add our spinach. I'm adding 2 really big handfuls of spinach. Just make sure that you add a little sprinkle of sea salt with each batch of greens because it will help keep them nice and bright and green. Keep stirring the veggies until the spinach wilts down. While your veggies are cooking, add a little bit of salt and pepper to the eggs. Give it another whisk. This is also a nice time to add some fresh herbs like chives or parsley, or even a few tablespoons of Parmesan cheese here. Next, pour the egg mixture all over your veggies. You're gonna cook, stirring with a heat-proof rubber spatula for about 2 minutes. You wanna see large curds and your spatula leaving a trail, but the eggs are still pretty wet on top. Then shake the skillet to even them out and use the spatula to kind of smooth out the eggs. And then just cook without stirring for about 30 seconds to let that bottom set. Once the bottom is set, you're gonna place the skillet right under the broiler to cook the top. Now this takes only 30 to 60 seconds. I'm gonna check it midway through. It's been about a minute. So see, it's set on top, but I still want it a little bit more brown, so I'm gonna put it in a little bit longer. Been about another minute. Ooh, look how brown that is. It's perfect. You can even check it with a knife. The egg should still be slightly wet in the middle. You don't want it too dry because they're gonna keep cooking in the hot pan. It's really important when you let it sit to keep the oven mitt on the handle. I cannot tell you how many times I forgot that the pan was under the broiler and I've gone to grab the handle and I burnt my hand really bad. So just keep that there to give yourself a nice reminder. So after 5 minutes, the frittata should be nice and cool. So at that point, we're just going to shake it loose onto your cutting board and slice it up just like you would a pie or a pizza. And there you go, the easiest grab and go meal ever. So you can enjoy it right now. I love to have it with a little bit of a side salad, like that. Or you can just pack it up and have it as like an easy grab and go breakfast, lunch, or dinner. This works for any meal of the day.